I understand well enough from experience over time and movements of the thinking of the minds of religious people who have framed issues in relation to your person, judged you, told you who and what to be and what to believe and how to think, and judged you to be guilty without of this or that title and charge, without telling you how, why, or that you would kill without knowing. And you know, when you have brought a religious person to the confrontation, realization that they don't have an argument now to put forward or advance in defense of veracity on a given matter, then their inclination is to step back and go, well, if you're so smarty-arty, what's your fucking... you'll notice that question too, does it? If you don't believe in God, in my God, then what's your God? So, do you not get it? I don't have a fucking God. I don't care for a lot of your terms, nor recognize them, nor do I have to. Graven images, idolatry, though I know what a martyr is well enough in principle, there's not enough established veracity in the potential of the Gospels of Jesus to prove that that a court of law now would go, yeah, this man is a martyr on these grounds, because though the crucifixion is the main point that everyone seems to have consensus, except for mythicists, who are a sect now that say that he was made up essentially by St. Paul, converge on and say is what's you know, Hitchens would talk about. He delved into this, and that a lot of what's written in the Gospels could be dismissed as prehistoric, in that mythology was language that is mythologic was used and conflated with realistic reporting, and therefore can't be technically considered historic or true. So instead of saying, you know, I like ideas like innocent until proven guilty, you're saying forged and inundated with mythological bullshit, and forged about and lied about after death, and words in mouth after death by other persons is sufficient proof of guilt. Yeah, so the other thing art doesn't do, that does make you wonder, does make you to taper this into try and barter it into a field of psychological something. They might try and use terms like curiosity complex, but I wouldn't say so. Interpretation means that art will be perceived differently. Like Gary Cairns, once off his period, I think he thinks that the Mona Lisa isn't smiling because in the painting because she wasn't getting the right sedative injections forced on her by restraining policemen who would and security guards that would physically peg her to a floor while she's screaming for the chance to calmly speak to a consultating doctor. And any profits that Gary Cairns might stand to make for that judgment is purely coincidental. Yeah, so when acting in a professional role, a person, I think, should need to know how to be against their religion, even if it means just being the limited manifestation of the stipulations of a role from the staff training received in the job. And if that's boring for them, so I don't give a fuck. If they need to bring the light of the Lord with them in their heart to lighten up their day, I don't give a fuck. Because when they say, but how can you tell if my religion compromises or corrupts or contaminates my work or not? I can start with how it's fucked up your ability to judge. So and I take it you use your head when you're at work. But what they typically mean is talking about not getting caught violating the Religious Discrimination Act explicitly and in front of cameras or whatever. So yeah, if you can demonstrate that it's intrinsically corrupt, then the fact that it's believed in creates the potential for intrinsic corruption, which means of that person in terms of their thinking and the values. Art does not solicit your complete lifelong invested trust in saying, now this album is going to teach you how to behave and to whom and how to treat whom in which way, and how these lyrics are really about all the detail about this police report, or are going to help form an accurate police report if you're unconsensually filmed singing in your domicile. Art doesn't even tell you how to interpret art. It doesn't say we've promised you a life after this life. Art doesn't say you're at threat of eternal torture unless you listen to this song. Art doesn't say follow these 10 rules, break any of them, and you and your family will be tortured for all eternity. So art is superior to religion. And religious minds do that, is they go, well, if you've passed this judgment on our religion, right, well, you've set out to try and claim that you have the, despite it being the gargantuous indicator of huge egotistical, self-deluded garbage, that you now know how to save all of mankind with your religion. That song, I Started a Joke, by the Bee Gees, applies to, I think, the pathos that either they are yet to recognize in getting involved in the religion, or the most honest of them will recognize, and it will be their exit ticket from the religion, which was my mid to late teens, new millennium process. And it's great. You do it on your own terms, at your own pace. But yeah, I got to experience and see for myself, that live and feel for myself how much damage religion had done, how growth stunting it was, how corrupt it is. Potentially any idea is excused, how fascistly nihilistic it is. At least if you want to call someone, an individual in society, a nihilist, That's that individual's better than you if you're religious and you're absconding your nihilism onto an intangible God deity belief that you have, but say that you don't truly have because you're a Freemason, so you study the disputes between God and Satan and you just can't decide which one you like more. So yeah, the definition of a pufta or a homosexual is a person whose responsibility comes from the rebellion against their own sexuality. And for what I know, that they tell you, oh, we're running a police background check on you when you first start working for Capital Chemist. All they did was look up a newspaper article, and with their taste for blood from their fucking religion, I made it explicitly clear to them, I say that you have an interest in involving me in any religious anything on the basis of a professional workplace trust, and I would rather be fired on the spot. I'm recovering from damage religion has done. If you can't fucking comprehend that, Elizabeth Breton, get it. For someone who could probably give blowjobs with the rolls of flab in her chin, you should fucking comprehend the indecency of the imposition of religion. Oh, well, according to the religion she imposed on me, in fact, I suppose I can talk about her fat chins all I want, really. In fact, yeah, just because she's a female and she said that to me. And perhaps that was the confusion of working at O'Connor Chemist. I was supposed to stand up and say, what, you're a pharmacist and you're a female? Or are you a female? You don't really talk or have the empathetic capacity of women I've known. So yeah, there should be intolerance for religion in the professional arena is outrageously necessary. You've got tax exempt status going to these organizations that are very, very corrupt, that will say things like, well, if pedophilic acts can't be blamed on religion, or will say the person didn't truly understand the religion, or will say that there's this psychological problem, or will say it was overcast, bad weather. These atrocities are truly detailed. I mean, in the Bible, rape is stipulated as if the woman has been given, like she's the temptress. So if a man rapes her, there's a verse saying if a woman doesn't scream loudly enough, I think it's the first 5 books of the Old Testament, if a woman doesn't scream loudly enough while being raped, she deserves to be stoned to death as an accessory to her own defilement. So they're trying to say, well, you need to scream really loud or you're wasting our fucking time. That's really the only possible sort of subtext that they could be applying there. It's also if a woman is raped, it's actually considered, it's not a crime for which the woman was viewed as the endurer or victim of. it's considered an offence by the perpetrating male against either the father who hasn't married her off yet or the husband that she was married off to. So she's only the vehicle of shame. And these are the principles of working for Elizabeth Breton at O'Connor Chemist. You're a child of God. I'd rather, yeah. I want to know if she's a girl or a boy.